Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cupid Parasite, continuing Ryuki's route. So, we're having a little flashback here, and this is where we got to see our CG again of the wedding dress. And I was like, I knew there was a wedding dress, but but I think it was at an expo, like we were a model or whatever. Anyway, he even designed a unique wedding dress just for me. A one-of-a-kind wedding dress. A special and precious dress. Like, could you imagine? It's kind of like hot that your fiance is a fashion designer and designs a wedding dress just for you. Like, I don't know, I kind of like that. Kind of sexy. Well, I didn't have any particular requests for a wedding. I knew I wanted one thing. I know it wasn't exactly a transition. We were just over last time. I want a wedding ceremony that matches the dress you made for me, Ryuki. After all, it was going to be a special day, marking the beginning of our life together. Huh? Oh, okay. Thanks. Ryuki seemed surprised at my words, stuttering out a response filled with joy and hesitation. Sorry. It's like a hair tucked under my headset, poking me in the ear. It's really uncomfortable. I see. That dress. I wondered if Ryuki had other wedding ideas in mind. Regardless, I was certain about wanting to wear his dress. I know, right? Is your ear very itchy? I swear to God, there's a hair in my ear. You got feathers in your ears? You got lots of fluff in your ears. You got lots of fluff between your ears, silly bird. I made a mental note to ask again about his vision for our wedding when the opportunity arose. As I contemplated, I nestled my face into his shoulder, savoring the warmth of his embrace. Okay, so we could have gone to here, but whatever. Here you go! Oh! Hey, at least with Marinice, we saw a little bit of, panty line. Supposed to be his pants. Sure, it looked like his underwear line. Ryuki ain't got nothing going on. I mean, that sounded mean. I meant, clothes-wise. There is no underwear line. This man, I'm just saying. Okay. I don't think the first game was, anti-fan service. Everybody was shirtless and that, right as soon as we got into the damn house. You know what I mean? And, whatever. But I'm just saying. I can't remember 100% of the fan servicey stuff that went on. But they didn't fail on this one. They were like, all right. Well, I mean, that's why it's called Sweet and Spicy, I guess. All right. Wedding, huh? Spacey was doing her makeup in the bathroom. I was preparing for the day, too, as I reflected on our earlier conversation. Are you preparing for the day? Are you going to put pants on? I'm okay if you don't, but it's going to be weird when we get on that plane and you're naked. And she wanted a wedding where she could wear the dress I made. The thought filled me with happiness. However, the wedding I envisioned included a junihito. Is it junihitoe? Junihitoe. Right, okay. Like the one I saw when I was little. The grace and elegance of that ceremony was deeply ingrained in my memory. The beautiful colors of the junihitoe had... Did I say that? Anyway, just pretend. Mesmerized me so much that I couldn't design anything else for a while. But would it be right to ask her to hold our wedding in Japan? I had concerns about whether her parents and our friends from Lost York could attend. Above all, I wanted to respect her desire to wear the wedding dress I'd created just for her. You can have 2 ceremonies! You know what I mean? I'm just saying, right? If you're marrying someone that's of a foreign nationality from you, right? And they have certain wedding customs or whatever, you either can do kind of like a blended thing, or okay, if they're from another country where their family can't travel to where you are or whatever, you can have okay, so we have a wedding ceremony here in the country you live, where whatever, and then we also go there and we have another one that's more traditional in their culture or whatever, and you can just have 2. You just have to decide which one is going to be the actual date of the real ceremony that we consider our actual wedding anniversary, because nobody's, you know what I mean? But and then Because, like, people have, like, they vow renewals and stuff like that. So, like, and some women now apparently have multiple wedding dresses. So why can't you have 2 weddings? You know what I mean? Your wedding is already official, but then you're just holding the ceremony. I mean, my nephew kind of did that. They just went to a courthouse, kind of got married, did that kind of thing, and then did, like, got their wedding pictures and whatever, and did all that stuff in Paris. They didn't get married in France. You can't legally do that. You know what I mean? Like, but they have all their wedding pictures. That's where they celebrated. That was like their quote unquote wedding, even though they just got legally married at a courthouse and then just kind of celebrated the wedding in Paris. You know what I mean? And, like, his wife got her dresses and whatever. I think she had, like, multiple dresses, like, for the pictures and stuff. So it looked like, you know, your wedding photos look like you got married in Paris, but you really kind of didn't. You know what I mean? So, like, you mean, but, like, and you could be like, well, even though our wedding certificate, you could just decide, like, okay, so what do we want? Which one do we want to be our official wedding? And then the other one's our other one. Like, you know, the date? You know what I mean? Because, like, okay, we'll have a wedding here, and then a month later we go to Japan. You're not going to have 2 wedding dates, so you just figure out. Or your wedding is only, I don't know if you got married in, I'm assuming Lost York is supposed to be the United States. Sure, because it's, you know, whatever. Or some made-up sort of amalgamation country, because it's Lost York, which is like Los Angeles and New York. Sure. You know, is your Japanese wedding license legal in the States? Would you have to, you know what I mean? So, like, is your United States wedding certificate legal in Japan? Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know, things are weird, so, you know, you could just, but anyway, the point is, you can have 2, just have 2 ceremonies, you know? Because, like, think about it. If you were marrying someone from Japan, you'd be like, yeah, well, like, you might have an idea if you were that person that always planned your wedding from when you were little, and then you're marrying someone who has a completely different culture, who might have had their idea of what their dream, like, wedding was going to be like, and you're like, well, you can just do both. Again, if you don't want to, like, kind of just shove them all together and make a weird amalgamation, you just do both in both countries. It's not, okay, I understand that most of us are on a budget and probably can't afford that, but, like, this is not going to be a problem here. Okay, we ain't broke is all I'm saying. She ain't broke, he ain't broke, his family ain't broke. You know? So, I think we'll be fine. Anyway. And I'm not certain that she'll introduce me to her parents in the first place. That troubled me, especially when I remembered how she avoided the topic last night. And you didn't even get to fuck it out of me. That's unfortunate for you. Before we settled on our wedding plans, we needed to confirm whether her parents were confirm where her parents were first. But since we were in Japan, I figured it was best to enjoy our time here first and address the matter when we returned to Lost York. I continued thinking about it as I gazed into the mirror, checking for any unruly strands of hair. Like, all of your strands of hair are slightly unruly, but you're telling me that's, like, perfectly coiffed that way? Every little... We'd enjoyed a hearty Japanese breakfast before checking out of the inn and making our way to the airport. Our plan was to purchase some souvenirs before our departure. Time flew by like nothing. You were only there for 2 days. Of course it did. Yeah, but it sure was fun. Absolutely. Hand in hand, we sauntered through the streets, cherishing our final day in Japan. What should we get? There's stuff to buy at the airport too, right? Yeah, but I think we can buy something in... Oh, it's Asakushi. Look, it's only been a couple hours since I played the last part. I had to go back to work. Not because of lunch, because I had to work at night. So, like, I had to do a couple hours, and then I wasn't gonna play anymore tonight, but I'm like, I'm just now having a mental freak out about the fact of how much shit I have to record and get up to date on, especially then as September is approaching. It's September now for you, it's not for me, but the time when I have a couple days off, that I'm not gonna, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm barely managing to stay a week ahead. And then I have to upload I'm like, oh my God. And then, somebody still has to come and fix my roof. And I don't know if he's going to like pop in, oh yeah, patch it up and done. And it's a couple hours, or is he going to come back the next day? It's going to take a couple days. Is he going to make me destroy my fucking gaming loft where like, while he's here doing stuff, fine, but he's going to leave at some point. If he has to come back the next day, like that's going to cut into my recording time. You know what I mean? But like, if he destroys my gaming loft, or I have to take down everything because my landlord was a crazy person. Hi, if this is the first thing you think, my roof is leaking, if you haven't been around for other things, my roof was leaking and it's been a couple of fucking weeks. It luckily hasn't gotten any worse, but it also ain't gonna get better just with thoughts and prayers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and someone that's like 2 weeks later, I'm like, are you fucking, somebody's gonna finally fucking show up next week? But my landlord made a comment about him, like, oh, we'll just cut a hole in the ceiling above. And I'm like, you're gonna cut a fucking hole in the fucking ceiling when you can go into the attic and fix whatever is there, and like there's like plywood down across the beams, and it's like you can fix. I understand if like, oh, because of the the pink cotton candy that lives up there, fiber, the insulation. I'm like, what cotton candy shit? Forbidden cotton candy, the insulation. That might be, you want to remove that and put it, but it's like, take that out from the attic. Don't cut a hole in my ceiling to do that. That seems like way more fucking money and effort to destroy a gaping fucking hole in my ceiling, and I will literally have to take everything fucking out of this room. Because you're gonna get dust fucking everywhere. Not even in that corner. I'm like, it's gonna go fucking everywhere. And I have a ton of shit on my walls, and it's like, I really don't want to have to take down fucking everything because you're going to do this stupidly when you can go into the attic, and if you have to cut a hole in the fucking particle board that's fucking up there over the rafters and remove the insulation and replace it in the fucking attic. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there's a stain, and but you can get rid of the water stain with, I think it's like a bleach and water solution. You just spray it on there to kind of like bleach out the stain, and then you can repaint over it. Because if you just paint over it, you'll still see it. You know what I mean? It doesn't, which is just like really weird. You're like, huh, water stains are weird. You can't just paint over them. And it's like, nope, fuck you, still showing up. I'm gonna show right through. So you have to do like a bleach and water solution or whatever and do that. I learned that from my mom because there was a roof leak ages ago in the old house I grew up in when I was a kid. But anyway, like, you know what I mean? So, but you don't need to cut a hole in the ceiling and then repack. That's like, my landlord, I don't think is going to pay that much motherfucking money to do that. Like, that seems stupid. It's not even like, let's do it the budget way. It's like, why don't you just do it the not stupid fucking way? The way that's not going to fucking ruin my God. It's also because it's part of it is on the ceiling / the corner of the wall. Like, and you're going to cut the wall open. Oh my fucking God. What are you trying to do? Like, don't know. That's so fucking stupid. So I'm really stressed out thinking that my landlord talking to the handyman are two of the dumbest men on the planet trying that they're going to do this. And I'm like, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Like, why would you do that? Even my mother was like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, men are dumb. Like, your job is to not be the stupid if you're a handyman. Like, why would you? I don't know. Anyway. So, like, hopefully he can get up there, figure out whatever, fix it, do whatever. And, like, because I'm fine, like, listen, there's a water stain. I will do a bleach water solution or whatever. I will take care of that. I will do it because I have stuff on my wall. I do not want him getting that shit on any of my fucking stickers or my cards or my merch or anything and ruining my fucking shit, because I also don't want to have to take it all fucking off the walls just for him to do this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll deal with, like, I can do the bleach and water solution because I will be careful about my shit. Okay. And this way I can keep an eye on it, and like, we don't need to repaint over it. I'm fine. It's there. You know, I'll keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't leak or get worse or anything, you know. And then, like, if I ever move, you know, someday, then yeah, okay, paint over it. So, you know. You know what I mean? But like it doesn't have to get fucking done right now, you know? It's okay. I can live with it, you know? And trust me, like it's so barely noticeable right now. I mean, it's noticeable because I know it's there, but like it's not as noticeable as when it was wet and you like, oh motherfucker, that's dark. You know what I mean? It kind of fades away a little, so I don't know. But anyway, I still have to get that fucking fixed. So if that takes a couple of days or I have to destroy my gaming logs, like then I'm even out more fucking time because, you know, while he's here during the day, that's fine. But like, it also inhibits me getting my work done for fucking work because I can't be on calls and shit and talking about stuff while someone's in my, you know what I mean? So it's like, I need you to get in and get the fuck out and do this as fast as fucking possible, not take several days. And it's also a holiday weekend. And it's like, you're not fucking coming in over the fucking weekend or showing up on a holiday. I'm sure they charge more for that. So there's no way my landlord would be paying for that. But also I'm like, I need that and I need you in and out and fucking done. So I'm not sitting here with my fucking loft destroyed for weeks because I need to get recording done. So like, you know, so I'm stressed as fuck because August sucks and I hate it. And I'm already like, okay, and then I gotta try to work around and then do all this, and then I got time in September, I'm not gonna, and I'm like, I'm barely keeping up with being like a week ahead, and it's just gonna get worse, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I know it's a temporary thing, and I know you guys understand that if I gotta do every other day, or like whatever, and I gotta space things out, you guys are cool, but I'm trying not to fucking go back to that, okay? I am trying not to, but like the universe is a dick. Okay? And like the wedding thing would be fine because I knew that was coming up, but it's like I wasn't expecting the channel to go missing for a while and for that and then not record for a week because like why was I going to fucking record for like a week if I didn't think I had a channel, you know, anymore? And then I was behind then and then the roof thing and then my mom was here and doctor's appointment and all this other shit and it's like, you know what? Everything sucks. This is not venting time. This is time to read for Ryuki. Don't you get fidgety like you gotta poop. I made you go poopies before we came up here. It's only been 17 minutes. You gotta learn to hold it. Don't poop on me. I don't need any more stress in my life. You're supposed to be my, you know, emotional support bird. You're biting me. That's not nice. Anyway. But anyway, everything's like fucking ridiculous, so... And then by the time I get back from the wedding thing, I might still only be a week ahead. I'm like, I used to be, oh God, I miss being 3 to 4 weeks ahead. It was really nice. Oh, my Lord. I do have fun doing this. Don't get me wrong. But like, all the other shit's stressing me out. So, like, not allowing me to do the things that I enjoy to keep me sane. You know. So, you know, if shit's wonky for the next month, I keep telling you guys this, but doing the best I can to make it not wonky. But once I'm through mid-September, past the wedding and everything like that, and I'm back, then the only time off that I will be taking for the rest of the year until Christmas is me time, which is you and me recording these games. I'm going to take a day off and we're just going to sit here and record for hours. You know what I mean? So it'll be okay. We'll get back there. We'll get back to normal. Provided my roof gets fixed. Oh, dear God. I'm just stressed about. I don't want him messing up all my shit. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, but I think we can buy something in Asakushi as well. And there are a lot of great candy stores around there. Out of the corner of my eye, something peculiar caught my attention. Ooh, muscular man or the calm man? Oh, okay. Okay, so, yeah, I guess all of the choices are going to be like this, but Marini's was different. Interesting. I don't know. Let's see what the answer is. The muscular man. Okay. Muscular man. Okay. Is this a sweet choice? Wow! What's that? It's so cute! A muscular man hustled past us, pulling an odd carriage. Oh, that's a rickshaw. A rickshaw? I think of it as a tourist ride. The rickshaw runner guides you around the city and points out notable places. How about a ride? You sure? Sure thing. We have time, too. Yay! Let's ride one, then! Sweet darling. Yeah, okay, so we're like I thought the last time, we're going between sweet and spicy. We're going to get a balance to get us the sweet and spicy end, and then if you do more spicy choices, you get the spicy end. So I kind of like that. I like this better than there's a good end and a bad end. It's like, no. There's a sweet end, and there's a spicy end, and then there's the perfect balance end. You know? It's much better. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I forgot to read that. He just said something about a minute. Okay, in just a minute. Ryuki approached the rickshaw runner and told him our destination. He then helped me onto the rickshaw, and off we went, speeding through the streets. Wow! I didn't expect this to be this fast. The speed was surprisingly exhilarating and beyond what I expected from somebody pulling it. Huh. So this is what it's like riding one. And the wind sure feels good. Ryuki appeared captivated too, looking around with curiosity. We were enjoying the sights of Asakushi from an elevated view when we spotted something remarkable. Look! Shiramuku? It's a Shiramuku kimono! Shiramuku, yeah. You're right! Wow, it's so pretty! We turned our attention to another rickshaw where a resplendent rider in traditional attire sat. Wow! The sight of the exotic dress immediately captivated me. It was incredibly lavish. Wow. Look at him blushing. He's like, oh! I love it! That's so beautiful! Ryuki, did you see that? Yep. It was a Shiramuku dress. Ryuki smiled, his eyes alight with wonder. He is blushing more furiously about a kimono than he ever's blushed at us, but you know what? I expect that from him. A Shiramuku? Yeah, it's a type of wedding dress worn at traditional Japanese weddings. Huh. That's used at weddings? And that's right. Huh. The camellia patterns are so beautiful. His voice was filled with admiration. He watched intently as the rickshaw disappeared into the distance. See, now she's going to get the hint, like, maybe he wants a more traditional Japanese wedding. And, you know, that was amazing. I wonder how they made those. Interweaving that pattern into dresses could be interesting. I can stitch the pattern and add red ginger flower motifs along the inside. The headpiece can be an off-white lace piece, worn lightly over the hair. As he spoke, Ryuki retrieved a sketchbook from his bag and swiftly began drawing some designs. I love that he's always on drawing designs. His immediate pivot to design mode was a clear indicator of his passion for fashion. Looks like he's enjoying himself. Ryuki did mention wanting to draw some dresses. It reminded me of the unique dress he'd once designed just for me. I was certain that Ryuki had poured a great deal of thought into crafting that dress. The thoughtfulness behind its creation made the dress even more special to me. I dreamed of wearing it at our wedding, but... A Japanese dress. I bet you'd look good in one, too. His remark, laden with obvious adoration, gave me pause. Shiramuku kimonos are beautiful, but I also appreciate junihito. Is it junihito? Is that what we're saying? Okay, kimonos. Their layered colors can create different impressions. I'd love to find the perfect shades for the 5 layers that make up the kimono. But maybe transforming the kimono into a modern dress could work too. I could tailor it to your silhouette and... Suddenly, Ryuki cut himself off mid-sentence, falling silent as if embarrassed. I love how he's just totally in the mode. He had no idea. He's just rambling on and you're like, aw. His sudden hesitation piqued my curiosity. What's a junihito? Well, it's traditional Japanese attire from the Heian era. Each color and pattern carries meaning, so we could design one that reflects who you are. When I was a child, I saw one at a wedding. The bride wore a junihito. It took place at the famous Itsukumi? Itsukumi? Yeah, Itsukumi. Yeah. I have to pause and read these. Itsukumi Shrine. It was simply beautiful. Maybe Ryuki wants to hold a Japanese wedding. The way his eyes filled with longing revealed more than his words could. Suddenly, I remembered Ryuki's unusual reaction earlier that morning. He seemed happy when I mentioned wanting to wear the dress he had designed, but there was something off about his response. Could it be that he was hesitant to express his desire for a traditional Japanese wedding because of my fondness for his dress? Ryuki, do you want us to have a Japanese-style wedding? Ryuki shot me a quick glance, holding his breath. It seemed my guess was correct. Look, she looks kind of happy about it. She's not like, wait. She's like, aw. His mouth opened slightly, as if he were grappling for the right words. He finally conceded with a light nod. Yeah, you're right. I knew it. But if that was the case, you could have been upfront about it, you know? But it's hard after hearing you say something so sweet. Sweet? Ryuki was referring to when I told him I wanted to wear the dress he made for our wedding. Moreover, I wanted to see you in that dress at our wedding too, which is why I haven't fully come to terms with it yet. I can't quite let go of the wedding I dreamed about when I was a kid. It's my dream, after all. His eyes sparkled as he spoke. It reminded me of clients who came to Cupid Core explaining their dream weddings. I love the fact that he has a dream wedding. You know? Like, that's typically, like, most of the time it's like, well, okay. It's not to say that men can't have dream weddings. It's just that most people consider, like, oh, what does the girl want? What does she want for her dream wedding? And, like, unless you're a gay man, then I guess it's okay. But then it's like, well, no, men don't get to choose. It's all about the girl. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, but it's like, even if you were in a straight couple, you might, like, I didn't really care about planning my wedding, to be fair. That should have told me something more. But I wasn't like, I never had a dream wedding. I was not a child that ever was like, imagined my wedding and planned it. No. I guess I just assumed maybe as a child, I was like, I'm never getting married, whatever. And like, I probably shouldn't have, to be fair. I got a nice car out of it, so that's fine. You know, divorce money was good. Okay, the divorce money was really just my wedding, the money my parents spent on the wedding, back with some interest, and then it just sat in a 401k for a long time until I withdrew it to pay for my car. So the interest on that, like, I made 50% of my money back in interest. So, like, I mean, it was pretty fucking sweet. So I'm just saying, you know, getting married and divorced was good because I got my beautiful, precious dream car, and I love her to death, even though she sits in the garage and doesn't get driven. But, you know, that's why she's lasted 14 fucking years. God, she's so fucking old. She's almost... The car's older than you. You're 10. She's 14. Everything in this house is so motherfucking old. Oh, stop. You're not old. Even when you turn 30, you're still gonna be my baby. Yes, you are. He's sitting in my hand. And I have my thumb wrapped around his head, and I'm just, like, petting him with my thumb. But again, he's so trusting. I could just strangle you right now. I wouldn't, but you're so trusting. You're no sense of danger. You're like, you know why? Because you're like, Mommy would never hurt me. She threatens to beat me, but she'd never beat me. No, I wouldn't. I just yell at you. I just give you angry voice and tell you you was a bad boy. That's not the angry voice. I don't want to give you the angry voice because then you think you did something wrong and you didn't. We only give you angry, stern, disappointed voice when you've actually done something wrong. Don't bite. Don't be a jerk. Telling everybody what a cute patootie you are and you're being a dick face. Ow, that was not nice. That was not nice. That was very hard. You be nice, boy. You're getting feisty because you're tired. Anyway. But like, you know what I mean? Like, so not every girl plans their wedding, and maybe there are some guys that actually dream of weddings. So, but it's like, it's very much like we've made this like, oh no, girls get to, it's like, men are allowed to dream about their weddings too. You know? Why do we make it such a sexist thing? Like, it kind of goes hand in hand with the, like, you see a man at a playground and people get free. It's like, men can take care of their children too. It's not babysitting when a man takes care of his child. It's just being a dad. It's what he should be doing. You know what I mean? Like, why do we... Society is fucking weird. Anyway, he sparkled his eyes sparkled as he spoke. Oh yeah, I read that already. But like, But, like, it's just cute. Like, I like that they're like, he had a dream wedding, not whatever you want, sweetie. He's like, no, I had a dream. And we're like, okay, whatever you want, sweetie. Because, like, she didn't have a dream wedding. She never thought she would get it. She's like, I was cute, but I was never thinking about that. So, it's more fitting that we do what he wants. Aw. That's why I want us to have a Japanese-style wedding at Itsukumi. Yeah, Itsukumi Shrine, if possible. I want to see you in a Junihito kimono. I can't say these words in his voice. It's like, in his voice isn't anything special. Right. He could have kept quiet and let my wishes lead the way, but he chose to share his true feelings, and I just want to make him happy. That made me squeeze Ryuki's hand tightly, joy filling my heart. All right, let's have our wedding at Itsukumi Shrine then. Really? Yeah, of course. Thank you for being honest with me, Ryuki. It wasn't that I had a specific wedding dream in mind, a specific dream wedding in mind. More than anything, I wanted a wedding that Ryuki would cherish. I want our wedding to be something to remember. So your dream is my dream, Ryuki. I see. Thanks. A gentle smile graced Ryuki's lips as he turned to gaze in the direction of the now distant rickshaw. His expression was filled with joy. I guess we got off the rickshaw. We were barely on it, but before we left Japan, we contacted Itsukumi Shrine to reserve a wedding date. However, we faced an obstacle. It seems there aren't any earlier dates available. We had reached out through phone and email. Just as we were about to board our flight, we received an email suggesting a far-off date. I never thought they'd be so booked. Even popular wedding venues in Lost York don't fill up this quickly. This only proved how popular Itsukumi Shrine was as a wedding venue. We asked for the earliest available date, but it turned out to be a year away. That's not that bad. I thought they were going to be a far off, like, oh my god, it's 2 years from it. It's a year. Most people take a year or more to plan their weddings. Well, I guess we can use this time to prepare everything. Yeah, it'll give me plenty of time to design a Junihito that suits you perfectly. But I wish we could get married sooner. Ryuki looked at me with a pout. Even though he was annoyed, his words still brimmed with affection. We can! Again, we can have 2 weddings! He wanted to marry me as soon as possible. He reached out to place his hand on mine as a testament to his sincerity. Although, then you have to think about it. So, like, he wants to marry you as soon as possible. Like, you could just do a Lost York kind of wedding, so you're wearing the one dress, and then you do, like, your year later Japanese-style wedding, whatever. But if the Japanese-style wedding that he's always thought or dreamt of is really important to him, then doing that as, like, a second wedding is not as... You know what I mean? Like, that's the one that that should be our first, that's the wedding we'll do first. Because that's our real wedding date, whatever. And then we do have another ceremony we can do, or a little party or whatever, with our family and friends in Lost York who couldn't make it and travel to Japan because a destination wedding is a little much to ask people to do. You know what I mean? So... But that's more like an after party kind of thing, or like, oh, we'll just do a quick little, we'll do a reception party, but we'll get dressed up in wedding attire and everybody we'll just do more like a reception thing. But, you know, so we are going to have to wait a year because we want the real wedding to be the one he's always dreamed of, you know? I was wearing the wedding ring Ryuki had given me last Christmas, a ring he had personally made. He told me he wanted me to wear it forever, and I saw in his eyes that he meant it. I didn't wear it daily because I was afraid of losing or damaging it. I just don't want anyone trying to sweep you away from me. I could say the same to him. Ryuki grew more handsome with each passing day, and that worried me a bit. You know, but it's like the more you fall in love with someone, the better looking they are to you, you know? And then when you fall out of love with them, you're like, oh, Toad. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the same thing with your 2D boyfriends, right? You're like, this isn't my favorite character. Like, you know, your eyeball love. You look at the art and you're like, this one and this one, these are my favorites. And then when their routes are really awful and they're trash, you're like, yeah, they start looking less attractive. Or because we like trash, you're like, nah, I'm into that shit, right? But then there's other ones who you might be like, yeah, no, they're not bad. They're fine. But when their routes are really good, you're like, you find a new affection for them and they become prettier in your eyes. Even though the art was pretty, you're like, subjectively, they're pretty. But they're not the ones that first draw your eye. You know what I mean? You'd put them in the, you're like, these ones are my top ones. And then there's always the ones that are like never going to be your type. You know, me, it's the baby face ones, you know. But like, there's always like, these are my favorites. And then the rest of them are kind of in the middle. Like, oh yeah, no, it's not that they're not pretty or they're not attractive. It's just, that's not where my eye draws first. But then the routes are so good, you're like, they've become some of my favorites now. You know what I mean? They might just, like, Raoul in this, I'm like, yeah, no, he's pretty, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be into him. Where the fuck did that fucker end up? He was my goddamn favorite. How? How did that happen? I mean, to be fair, I can't quite remember when we started playing. Was he like, okay, like eyeball-wise, just looking at him, he's the hottest, but he's the himbo kind of one, so like, I'm not into the himbos ever. But like, yeah, he's the pretty one, but like, whatever. And then like, it was like, nope, totally in love with the fucking himbo. First time for everything. You know what I mean? And like, he's like my fucking favorite. Like, where the hell did that come from? You know? Weird. All I'm saying, you know? Sometimes they surprise you. So the more you, like, you two are falling more in love with each other as every day passes. That's why you're both getting hotter to each other. You know? That was why I understood his impatience. How about we register our marriage first? In Lost York, legal marriages usually occur on the wedding day, but some Cupid Court clients opt to complete the paperwork earlier. Marriage registration. Ryuki's cheek flushed a lovely shade of red at my proposal. I see. I guess making our marriage official first makes sense. But are you sure about marrying me? You said you were okay with being a Keisain, but we could take your family name instead, you know. You're gonna be Ryuki Mirror? There's a ring to that. Huh? No, I'm perfectly okay with being a Keisain. Not like there's any mirror family around anyway. The name I used in this world wasn't from a family with generations behind it. As for Ryuki, his family had been working in the clothing trade since the Edo period, and he was their heir. So he looked a bit taken aback when I boldly asserted that I wanted to join his family. Then we should find time for us to meet your parents. Would it be possible for me to meet them? I want your parents to know who I am. It might make things easier for you, Spacey. Don't worry. My parents aren't the type to fuss over name changes. In fact, my parents don't really have a last name. Well, you might think that, but it's better to check just to be sure. Also, most cultures, I'm making an assumption here because just the ones I know of, okay? Usually the woman takes the man's name because we're property. You know what I mean? So we join your... Now, I mean, yes, you can do whatever you want these days. You can take anybody's name, but like, that's just the standard tradition. In most cultures is like, oh, okay. Yes, the woman is marrying into the family. And like, so if he were to take our last name, it's like, oh, okay, that's modern and different. You know what I mean? So it's just really weird for him to be like, well, we have to check with your parents to make sure it's okay for you to take my last name. I mean, yes, we're a goddess. Sure, we were. But like, you don't know that. So you're just thinking I'm a typical, like, Lost Yorker. Which, again, I'm guessing is American. And I know we're fucking weird, but we're not that weird. Like, you know what I mean? Most Americans are pretty fucking odd traditional. So, like, if you were like, I'm gonna have my husband take my last name, people would be like, the fuck kind of weird shit is this? What kind of hippie shit is this? You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I don't... Where is he getting these weird fucking ideas from? Like, when have we ever given... Like, Sir, are you okay? Ryuki, are you okay? I don't think he's okay. He comes up with the most baffling fucking shit. Like, what? Okay. All right. He's just so weird. Why are you so weird? I don't know. I think this is, are you just trying to ploy to meet my parents? Because this is a very weird way to do it, you know? Okay, I'll message them later. But for now, when should we register our marriage? It would complicate things if he knew the truth about my family, so I changed the topic. Ryuki looked at me suspiciously before speaking. I thought it could be a good idea to register our marriage on your birthday. My birthday? Yeah, if we set it on either of our birthdays, it'll be easier to remember and celebrate. Now that is a normal man response. I'm not going to remember a random fucking day, but I'll remember your birthday. That'll be easier. So, when's your birthday again? See, okay, but he doesn't even know our birthday. I tried to recall the birth date on my profile. If I remember correctly, my aunt set some random date as my birthday. I told him I made a birth date that allowed me to live as a human, but it felt strange to say it aloud. I tilted my head thoughtfully. Okay, he's really sus because he's like, when's your birthday again? Which is typical, like, you know, like somebody might forget your birthday. Okay, I know a joke that men forget, but I forget birthdays too, you know. But like, he's like, wait, when's your birthday? But the fact that she forgot her own. That birthday held no special significance for me. It wasn't the day I came into this world, nor was it my actual birthday. In fact, birthdays didn't exist for gods at all. You should have picked the day that you decided to, like, join the human realm. Like, my first day in the human realm is August 15th. That's what you should have set your birthday as. You know what I mean? Because then it did have significance. Gil did celebrate my birthday during my college days, but Clarice mentioned she didn't usually celebrate her birthday, so we stopped celebrating her birthdays after college. She doesn't celebrate her birthday because she's a fucking, like, succubus or incubus or some shit, right? So, that's why. She doesn't really have one either. We'd share a cake or something, but we concluded that celebrations weren't necessary. If anything, I only started thinking about birthdays after celebrating Ryuki's. That was why it felt strange to call a random date that my aunt chose my birthday, and then act like it was some important day. But if you get married, then it is an important day, so we could start preparing for your birthday, and I personally think your birthday would be better, Ryuki. My birthday? Yeah, how does that sound? See, she's not thinking logically. Like, she'd be like, yeah, because, like, if she was like, yeah, you know, because, like, like she said, her date of birth that she put down means nothing to her. But then if you got married on that day, then it would mean something to you and you would have something to celebrate. You know? And then you wouldn't have to remember what your fake birthday is because you'd be like, it's my fake birthday / wedding anniversary. You know what I mean? As opposed to now where you're like, I don't remember what date I put down. You know what I'm just saying? It'll help you remember. Come on. Well, I suppose that's fine, but I thought your birthday might be better because it would be stressful to organize everything at the beginning of the year. And my birthday would fall later than our reserved wedding date. Ryuki genuinely seemed to be considering my feelings, which made it even more heartbreaking that I don't have a real birthday. My birthday, my family, and even my very identity were all fabrications. I was lying to him. How is his birthday after your wedding date if your wedding date is a year away? Because, like, okay, like right now as I'm recording this, it's August. So you're thinking it's going to be next fall. And if his birthday's in you know what I mean? Like, between now and a year from now, he's not going to have a birthday? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, his birthday's in the beginning of the year. Okay, so, like, but, like, you're gonna cross his birthday before your wedding happens unless, like, his birthday was a week ago. His birthday was last. I'm assuming it, like, because it sounds like it's only, like, his birthday was recently. So, like, this isn't taking place a year, it's taking place, like, a couple weeks later or whatever. So, like, let's just say his birthday, okay, beginning of the year. So his birthday's January. Okay. So it's sometime in January. His birthday's in the beginning. We're at the end of January. But if our wedding date is a year out, then our wedding's not really a year away. It's like 6, 8, 9 months. You know what I mean? Because a year away, it means that it's going to be the next January or February, which implies that he's going to have a birthday. I'm thinking too much about this, and it's stupid and pointless, but I'm just saying, he's going to have a birthday before our fucking wedding. Like, so, or our wedding is not actually a full-ass year away. So, I don't know why I'm nitpicking this. I don't know. It's late at night, and so apparently I get very nitpicky. I don't know. Anyway. Ryuki doesn't know I was Cupid. Maybe you should tell him. One day, I wanted to tell him everything. I didn't want to keep secrets from Ryuki. I feel like that's it's going to be planning the wedding and having the wedding, and that's going to be the end is going to be the happy wedding at the end. But the bumps along the road that we're going to be solving throughout this is going to be him being sus because we don't seem to know when our own birthday is, and he can't meet our parents and shit, so. This is the conflict. But now wasn't the time. I hadn't even told him about my parents yet. I had no idea how to explain everything in a way he'd be able to understand. Who in the world would actually believe that I was once Cupid? Spacey? I'm sorry. I still think your birthday is a better choice. Why? Because it's the day I hold the fondest memories with you, Ryuki. The day we celebrated Ryuki's birthday together, for the first time, our bond deepened. It was the perfect day to legally tie the knot. Do you have a pin feather right there? I need to get it out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did that hurt? I know it was a big one. I'm very sorry. That's why we're not clicking the mouse. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, buddy. Oh, I can tell it's right there. Oh, yeah. That's bugging me every time I pet you. I know it hurts. Okay. All right. Come on, let's get you to your poopy spot. You've been waiting and being patient. Anyway. Oh, crap. I just tripped on my fucking cord. My poor bird. Well, I suppose, but... Ryuki's face turned a deep red, probably recalling the memory of that day. You know, the first time you had sex? Yeah. Which was like a week ago? Oh, good boy. You went poopies fast. Jeez, really had to go potties, huh? He pondered it for a while, then finally nodded. Okay, let's get the paperwork ready for my birthday then. Uh-huh. But which is going to be like after your other... Okay, whatever. Great! Right. Would you like to discuss making your Junihito kimono? And do you mind if I take your measurements? I'll draft some designs and you can review them if you'd like. We dove further into our preparations. I feel like if we're getting measurements taken on a plane, that's a private fucking plane. We talked about our wedding attire and began discussing the menu we'd have at our reception. Finally, we studied a pamphlet from one of the venues we were considering to strengthen our vision of the wedding. What if we prepare a meal with seasonal ingredients? A savory egg custard and mixed rice could taste great, too. That sounds delicious. Are there any specific ingredients you have... Oh, that's him. Are there any specific ingredients you have in mind? Whatever you tell me. Well, there are a few. But what's this taranome right here? I've never seen it before. Oh, that? It's a type of wild vegetable that grows in the mountains. They're a bit bitter, but they taste great deep fried as tempura. I see. I've never eaten tempura before. So that sounds pretty interesting. All right, then let's add that to our list. We had a myriad of things to decide on, but every moment was filled with joy. Talking with Ryuki made time fly on the lengthy flight back home. Like a thorn in my side. One day passed since we returned to Lost York. I was back in the office, hard at work. Mirror, can you help our client? Sure thing. It feels like it's been ages since I've been here. I followed up with clients that I've been working with before my vacation. Then I checked in with some inactive clients. Before long, the day ended. After work, I headed straight to Ryuki's boutique. We'd made plans to have dinner at a nearby restaurant. Come to think of it, I was thinking about moving. Unexpectedly, Clarice had mentioned moving out. What happened? Huh? You two are dating now, right? I'll move out so you two can live here together. But I guess you could move to his place instead. Yeah, his place was bigger, right? Let me know when you've decided. Either way, I was thinking of venturing out to find true love. Stop biting me, bird. You're being very jerky right now. Simmer the fuck down. Clarice's words took me by surprise. It had been on my mind to live with Ryuki since our trip to Japan. The question now is where we should live. Ryuki's house was spacious. Perhaps it wouldn't have been a bad idea for me to move in with him if he agreed. He could work and keep the place humidified there. My apartment was also an option. We could even search for a new place. Why don't you ask him and be like, listen, Clarice is moving out, so I'm thinking of finding a new place. But since we're getting married, why don't we live together? What do you want to do? But I need to discuss living together with him first. When I finally made it to Ryuki's boutique, I was still lost in thought. I love you, but you're really annoying right now, bird. There, I discovered an unexpected guest. Raoul. And he is not wearing clothes either. Game! The game heard me and was like, oh, wait, you love Raoul? Here he is naked. Well, I mean topless, but still close enough. Also, man, you are pale. Like, good God, get some sun, boy. Actually, don't. It's not good for your skin. But, like, it's probably because everything is really bright and glaringly almost, like, very, very light colored in here that it washes this poor boy out and he looks white as fuck. It doesn't fit. Are you out of your mind? Stop forcing it. Take it off now. And take better care, will you? You're ruining the fabric. Here, hold this. Raoul was struggling to put on one of Ryuki's designs. It didn't fit and he got himself stuck in a ridiculous position. Typical. Ryuki forcefully removed the clothing, shooting Raoul a frosty glare that I hadn't seen in a while. I designed this pattern for you. It should fit perfectly. I even personally measured you, so it should be perfect. What happened? Donuts? Donuts? You're telling me you gained weight? More like gained muscles. Huh? Muscles. I mean, have you seen the man? He is also packing a case of beer from Costco. Again, not an 8-pack or it's like a 32-pack. Look, I got 6-pack abs. Not in anime games. He's got 82 packs. Oh, I forgot about his little... Okay, I'm pretty sure. Little mole under his boobs. I'm like, actually, I think that's always supposed to be there. I'm like, or there's just a dot. I don't think that's a dot on my screen. I think that's on him. Like, I can't. And then I'm like, I think I vaguely remember him having that. I think that's supposed to be there. It's one of those, like, they were like, see right here, because you're going to see him shirtless a lot. The fact that they added that detail is kind of amazing, but look at my... God, I love this himbo so much. He's such a fucking... I want to be like, he's such a fucking idiot, but he's really not. When it comes to mythology, he is like fucking on and so fucking smart. Everything else, he's kind of stupid, but... Yeah, I found a great donut shop and I've been eating there every day. You hang out with Marinice? Because I know what donut shop you're talking about. But to avoid gaining weight, I schedule more time to work out, which bulked me up. So you can't fit into the suit because your muscle mass increased. Maybe? Huh. It's your job as a model to maintain your weight and silhouette. I already have my brand model set as you, Raoul Aconite. The suits are all fitted to you for the upcoming photo shoot. Yeah. Sorry, so what should I do? That's what I want to know. Ryuki let out a deep sigh. I was hesitant to interrupt. I love this interaction. It's so fun. Raoul can't fit because of his increased muscle mass. He must have been training quite rigorously. You know, he's outrunning the donuts. They say you can't outrun a bad diet, but I guess Raoul can. Raoul's chest definitely looked more muscular. She's staring at it like, huh. Not being able to fit into clothes due to gaining weight was common, but not because of sheer muscle bulk. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised, since Raoul Aconite was an action star. Spacey. Ryuki finally noticed I was there. He quickly folded the clothes in his hands. Sorry to bother you, but is everything okay? Actually, no. Ugh. The photo shoot's in 2 days, and we may have to postpone it. However, I've already printed the material, so we can only delay the shoot by a few days, based on the release schedule. Raoul, can you lose the muscle mass before the shoot? Well, I have a commercial shoot for a protein product at a gym for bouldering. So you might get even more muscle. I guess? He's literally so dumb! Oh, I love him so much. Oh, he must be protected at all costs, the idiot. Okay, well, again, the only time you're like, well, and everyone's like, Raoul's too fucking stupid. He's gonna get in trouble. No, wait. I got it. Raoul? Mythology. And then all of a sudden his brain starts working and he's a goddamn fucking rocket scientist professor. And you're like, now ask him a normal question. And then he can actually, you're like, so, 2 + 2. And he's like, oh, totally 4. Whatever, I got it. Anyway, like, he can answer any question as long as you asked it in the midst of him being on a mythology tangent. Right? Otherwise, idiot. Well, the only time his brain cells are working is while the hamster in the wheel is going ballistic about mythology. And then I guarantee you, like, you could probably ask him secret, like, rocket fuel formulas, and he'd probably know them. And you're like, that's really weird that you know that. And then when the hamster is tired and he stops talking about mythology, you're lucky the man could find his way home. Okay, I'm just saying. Ryuki shot Raoul a cold, frustrated look. His model couldn't fit into the latest design he'd prepared during our trip. He was sincerely angry as a designer. I mean, you're dealing with Raoul here. Fine. I suppose I have to... Wait! There's a fantastic model at my agency. How about I introduce him as my replacement? A new model? I chose you because you were the perfect fit. I tailored everything to you. It won't work to just replace you with someone else. Trust me, he's great. He's thinner than me, but he'll be perfect. Well, I guess it's easier to scale down the size rather than expand it without distorting the design or altering the aesthetic. He's a phenomenal fashion model. Everyone at the agency, even my manager, is pushing for him. I think you'll like him. But you know what? And then you're like, you're an idiot, but you're kind of sweet because you're like, wait. I can find a guy. He's really cool. He'll be a great replacement. You don't mind losing a job to someone else. You're totally helping out a bro. That's sweet. And who is this other model? Is this a new side character? Do we meet him? And just like that, the model for the Ryuki brand photo shoot was abruptly switched. However, this new model was in high demand, and he wasn't available for a fitting until the day of the shoot. The day of the shoot arrived amid much anxiety. The rescheduled shoot fell on the same day I was supposed to have a date with Ryuki. So I will have our date here and help him. Instead, he invited me to the shoot. The location was an open area on the Cape with a beautiful ocean view. D'amor paradis. And the lobster must be their mascot because it's also here on this pretty little island with these beautiful flowers. Not really sure what a lobster says about love, but I'm okay with it. I have a dress that has lobsters on it. And then earrings that are lobster earrings, so, like, I get it. I don't wear that on Valentine's Day, but sure. This place is beautiful. So this is where you're having the shoot? Yeah, I'm sorry that our date had to be rescheduled. I had planned to come here privately with you. Ryuki surveyed the area. It's hard to believe this place is an artificial island. It feels so natural. Yeah, and the size of the island's astonishing. This island, D'Amor Paradis, was created as a new tourist attraction. D'Amor Paradis, do you think this is also a spaceship? Do you think it was built on the back of a giant lobster? And, like, maybe right there that's one of its claws? I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past the game because, you know, Batol Tower is a fucking rocket ship. We've already gotten Alan sucked into a car as Bumblepig, right? And, like, all the other shit we've seen. So I wouldn't be surprised if we found out D'Amor Paradis, the fake island, is not really an island. It's the back of a giant fucking lobster. I'm just, because of all the lobster scene imagery around. I'm just, you know. So, what's the over-under on that one? Okay. The island was made as a new venture in Lost York by the giant corporation Omar Holdings. That's going to come back. Hotel, restaurants, apparels, beauty salons. The company handled multiple businesses, and now they finally arrived at Lost York. Was Omar handling, like, was that mentioned in the original game? I don't know why it was just something about this, all these multiple businesses, and now they're in, something about that felt very deja vu-y, but after they created this island, it quickly became a popular spot for Lost York residents to go on dates. That was why we had planned our date here. I really don't mind, but are you sure I won't be in the way of your work here? I had intended to help him, but I was unsure whether I should even be at a professional photo shoot. Of course you're not in the way. In fact, it's much better that you're here. Yeah, you heard him. I brought some books so that we could talk about Greek mythology during our break time. Wait, Raoul? Okay, yeah, because I've seen this character before. Not in the prior game, but I meant, like, I think I've seen him in relation to this fan disc, so okay. Also, why do you look like us? There's something about your eyes, it's like, this is the male version of us. I'm just saying, wait. They turned in surprise to find Raoul and another person. Are you actually a god? Because I'm just saying, why? Why is it? You know what it is? Because, like, even, like, we have the reddish kind of eyeliner, like, shadow going around our eyes and our icy blue eyes, the same as he does. Why does it? Are you our twin? You see what I'm saying? Like, look at the eye, like that. I thought that was always just her eye makeup, but he's got the same vibe going on. Raoul, if you have that much free time, why didn't you work on losing some muscle? Sorry. Now, without further ado, let me introduce Ray Under, our agency's rising star and supermodel. Hey there. Wow, he's so pretty. He was very composed and handsome, just what you'd expect from the agency housing the famous Sillywood actor Raoul Aconite. His skin was unbelievably fair, and despite his tall stature, his face was quite small. I glanced at Ryuki, thinking Ray would be a perfect replacement, but Ryuki was scrutinizing him intensely. FFFAFA. Oh my god, my phone is so far away. Triple FAFA. What color is that, guys? Tell me. Where is it? Oh. I thought it was just a hashtag. Pound sign. Pound sign! Because I'm old. FFF. AFA. What color is he? Straight up motherfucking white. It's called Snow 1. Well, I just saw that. I just scrolled. I just saw. It shows you the image, but then underneath that I saw a color hex, and it said color hex Snow 1. But it is I'm not surprised, because honestly, I was half expecting it to be a very pale, like, frosty kind of color because of his, like, light frosty hair, but I wasn't expecting just straight up almost motherfucking white. That's not totally perfect white, though, because I think perfect white and perfect black are usually, like, isn't, like, all black, like, all zeros, or is that all white? One of them is, like, but they're usually, like, straight up all the same character or number. What color is he referring to? But that is motherfucking white. Yeah. Right there. I like that she looked it up this time. I checked the color code Ryuki had just mentioned on my smartphone. It was a snow white color. It fits him. You know what I mean? Because his hair is like a very light grayish. Could be a lavendery color. You know what I mean? But like, I was like expecting it to be very similar to that. Like a very light gray or a very light, very vaguely purple kind of color, you know? And by the way, why are you here, Raoul? Have you lost some muscles? Do you see any difference? Not one that I appreciate. In fact, it seems like you've gained more muscle. You think? I guess it's really tough to shed muscle. Especially if you keep going to the gym, you bastard. But like, seriously, like, he's a muscle-bound himbo. He literally has muscles for I mean, you're whatever. But like, that's all he is. But God, I love him. Why do I love the biggest idiot in this game? Again, not my type at all. Like, they're usually fun. You're like, the himbos are fun. But like, I'm never into the super muscle-bound himbo. Not into them. But I'm like, I love you so much. You dumbass. I can't get over it. You need to not be here. You're distracting me from Ryuki. I just came in case I could fit. But since that doesn't seem likely, I'll let Ray handle the shoot today. So he's the new model. I suppose I can adjust the size to fit him, though the color won't align with my original vision. And his, like, little background color is literally white as fuck. But I promise you'll end up with the best shots ever the moment you aim the camera at him. Ugh, fine. Let's get this started. Glad to hear that. I wouldn't say I'm glad. You do realize I still believe you're the best fit, right? Sorry. I'll make sure to do some weight adjustments so I can participate in the next shoot. Good luck, Ray! What clothes will I be wearing today? Oh, these ones! I brought over a rack full of clothes that were prepared for the shoot to show him the lineup. He literally looks like our twin brother. This is weirding me out. Suddenly, Ray grabbed my arm. Huh? What's this? What do you mean? It's my arm. Your bone structure. Bone structure? I've never seen such a delicate wrist with such a lengthy bone. Ray was rubbing my arm as if feeling my bone, then turned my arm over and began rubbing my wrist with his thumb. Just as weird as everyone else in this game. Not somehow surprised. Long bone? What on earth is he talking about? I mean... I didn't know if he was upset or excited, but before I could ask, another hand appeared and swatted his hand away. Oh, CG! Oh, look at Ryuki being like, don't touch my woman, yo. I swear to God, he looks like he could be like our paler brother. Because his eyes are lighter and his hair is lighter, but like... I mean, like, I guess everybody is similar, sort of, but it's the, like... And I guess Ryuki kind of also has the reddish under his eye, but it's just there's something about the two, us and Ray, that looks way too similar to me. It was Ryuki. He tugged me toward him and shot Ray a glare. Don't touch her. We're running out of time. If you're really a model, get into those clothes quickly. You're also keeping my makeup team waiting, and... You are the designer of Ryuki? That's right. Your skin appears to be well moisturized, but how long have you been modeling? I can't recall. Is that information necessary? In the end, isn't it all about the final result? I'm not interested in having a mediocre model wear my designs. Ryuki continued to study Ray with a scrutinizing glare. Meanwhile, our new model Ray was giving Ryuki a similarly appraising look. Yeah, there's something fishy about this guy. Interesting. So you're the designer Ryuki. You don't look like the Ryuki from the magazines. But you're sure you're the real deal. What? Of course I'm the real Ryuki. Ray shifted his gaze from Ryuki and focused on the rack of clothes. He then placed his hand on his chin and sighed. So this is your lineup for the season, huh? I suppose they'll look good on me, so I'll wear your clothes. Huh? Oh no. The tension was palpable. I could immediately tell they were like oil and water. Just as Ryuki and Rei were about to clash, Raoul quickly intervened with a smile. I figure he left, but no. Wow, you two are going at it like when Venus, Juno, and Minerva were fighting over the golden apple. What? Besides, Rei really appreciates the Ryuki brand. You were wearing it when you first joined our agency, weren't you? I find that hard to believe. Oh, you mean the pistachio green outfit I wore? That was from last year's collection, and I happen to like it the most. See, I knew it. That's why I thought you'd be perfect for today's shoot. But the Ryuki clothes I prefer were from the collections up until last spring. The patterns and colors changed from autumn onwards. I know they were popular, but they just don't sit well with me. I look better in designs that are a bit edgier, ones that others might not dare to wear. That's why I'm not a fan of the current lineup. Because Ryuki's gone soft because of me? I feel like Rei is throwing shade at Ryuki about this relation. Are you trying to break us up? Are you like a plant? Did Mars plant you in here to break me and Ryuki up so that I would come back and be Cupid? Is that what's going on here? Because I just feel sus about this. You're sus, sir. Excuse me? I didn't ask for your opinion, and I certainly didn't design them with only you in mind. What? The clothes you make are for us models, aren't they? Are you serious? I create what I want, that's all. It's your job as a model to ensure you look good in them. Which is why they're so inconsistent. Huh? Raoul tried to lighten the mood, but the tension quickly returned. Ooh, suggest they have a meeting. Suggest getting right to the shoot. I'd say the get right to the shoot. Oh no, meeting. Okay. I know we're way over, but this part's going on, so like... instead of just standing around, why don't we have a meeting about today's shoot so that... There's no need. This guy wouldn't understand anything, even if we did have a meeting. I agree. I doubt I'd grasp anything coming from someone who's lost his touch. Huh? Oh, okay. Why don't we just dive into the shoot then? You know, before the weather changes. Spicy! Seeing the situation wasn't going to improve, I quickly handed the clothes to Rei and ushered him into the changing room we had set up. The staff quickly started adjusting the size of the clothes and applying makeup to our model, while Ryuki performed the final checks. I went to fetch the photographer to commence the shoot. Unfortunately, Ryuki's mood didn't improve throughout the shoot, resulting in an unpleasant atmosphere. And we're gonna stop here, but holy shit! Man! That's... I feel like there's something about Rei. I don't know what's going on with him, but I kind of feel like there's just something, and maybe it's just the way they stylized him. He just looks too much similar to, you know what I mean? I'm like, because you know how, like, if you think about it, Alan and Clarice, similar color palettes, purple hair and everything like that, and it's like, and they're both like incubi or whatever, or she's a succubus, whatever, but they're both kind of like demons and like. And so you're like, huh, is that why you gave him both purple hair and like whatever, you know what I mean? So there was just something about Rei that is like way too much like, his color palette is way too much like us. Like, yeah, our hair is like a orchidy, pinky purple color and his is like very, very light, almost like white gray. But, and his eyes are frostier, but he just looks like a frostier version of us. And there's something about like the coloring, like the, around his eyes, like it looks like, I mean, Ryuki kind of had a little bit of it, I guess, but it looks more like, I always just figured that's our eye makeup, but his is exactly the same. I don't know. There's just something, and I'm like, are we, like, why does he look so similar? Like, he might not be, like, some kind of weird relative, but I feel like they made him kind of look similar, like, if he's supposed to be, like, a Jupiter plant, like, not a Jupiter plant, or, like a Mars plant, you know, to try to break us up with Ryuki, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, there's something strange about him. And maybe we're not going to find that out in this, but who knows? Because, to be fair, he's a side character that Raoul introduced, and like Otome Kitten does say like, oh, you know, side characters, you know, that are important in later routes, you know, whatever. So then now I'm wondering if Raoul introduced him, maybe there's more going on with him in Raoul's route, you know, because they work together type of a thing. So maybe we're not going to find out anything here and he's just going to be a snotty little bitch to just kind of make Ryuki mad. Who knows? But interesting. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.